What's up team, Killchain here, and today we are mere days away from 10.1 officially dropping on the Tuesday for NA and obviously Wednesday for EU. However, the Season 2 doesn't actually drop until the following week on the 9th or 10th respectively. So with that in mind, how is our first week going to look? Let's check it out. First, we obviously have story content. Now, this will be imperative, obviously, to give us the introduction into Loam, the main city hub area of the ZAQALI Caverns, the introduction to the ZAQALI Caverns themselves, any story beats that obviously will be important to know moving forward, the introduction of the zone, where everything is, how all the new even gearing system works. Doing that first story chapter is obviously going to be exceptionally important, and I'd actually recommend doing this first. Now, whether you're someone that just wants to skip everything and go right the way through, or you're happy to take your time, obviously this won't take too much out of your time because unfortunately Blizzard doesn't like just lump sum giving us the whole story, and we'll progress through as we see fit. Unfortunately, we need to have our little breadcrumbs spread out over multiple weeks where we get a chapter every week. So in that mind, yeah, the 10.1 holistic view of the story, we only get chapter 1, and that's that very decent intro level, and you're also going to get a lot of flight stones and certain key items that you're going to want. Things like unlocking your Niflheim rep and everything like that. It really does help introduce both the new gearing system as well as just the whole zone itself, the new races, the new city hub, etc. So well worth doing the story, and like I said, I would definitely recommend doing that first. So as a part of this story quest and everything, you're going to be unlocking the new Niflheim Renown track. So they'll join the original 4 with your Valdrakken Accord and the Iskara people, etc. So these guys will be your underground mole people that we're obviously doing tasks for. The track will allow us to go all the way up to level 20, and there are some obviously key things along the way: profession upgrades, different random items, the ability to barter with a particular NPC, which will form a core part of some other things we want to be doing in that first week. But most importantly, along the track, we've got Renown Rank 4, gives you a free Drake Shadow Flame Crest, which constitutes as the new upgrade system for the normal item level range for Aberrus. So that's your 415 item level up to 424, which is very nice. At number 6, you're getting a toy, which, let's be real, who cares about toys? But that being said, this particular toy functions much like a flight whistle, so anywhere within the ZAQALI Caverns, which obviously is the new zone that we're diving into, yeah, see what I did there? Yeah, that's right. And this particular toy allows you to safe travel back to Loam, the central hub of the ZAQALI Caverns, from anywhere within the caverns. So if you're in the dicey area with all the elites and everything like that on the west-hand side, then yes, you're going to have safe travel back to Loam with using that particular toy. And number 8, so Renown Track 8, you're getting a chest on the Veteran Track, which can go up to all the way to 424, which again, you'll notice that you've previously gotten the Drake Shadowflame Crest, which will help you along the way up to the 424 on your chest. Now, the number 14 drops 415 boots, which for a lot of people that haven't already mythiced out everything from Season 1, yeah, this could be a nice boot upgrade, and this will be as a part of the Champion track, allowing it all the way up to 437. And finally, you've got Renown 20, which that's definitely going to take some time. That's the maximum rank you can get. However, that will give you a free Worms Shadowflame Crest, which constitutes as the new heroic section for Season 2 heading forward. So Niflheim track, definitely want to be farming a lot of that renown and getting the rep done. There's useful tools right along the way for that particular renown track, so it's well worth doing it even if you're not too much of a renown or rep farmer yourself. So next along, we'll have dragon riding glyphs. So much like the Dragon Isles themselves, plus the Forbidden Reach when they came out, we obviously have a plethora of new glyphs to be chasing down. So some people obviously going to just explore the zone and get the opportunity to just, you know, treat it as a content in and of itself, be able to, yeah, have fun going around, and you'll just find the glyphs as you go around your business. I believe there are 8, don't quote me on that, in the ZAQALI Caverns, so obviously the new zone there, and they'll have their respective upgrades that you can obviously sink some points into, which will turn the ability on to gain your vigor while dragon riding while skimming along the ground. So obviously this doesn't just help in the caverns, because there's no concept of being able to have dive bombing angles to be able to, you know, increase your vigor and go really fast. We will need that on ground skimming, and this will obviously be useful in all of Dragon Isles. So when you're, I don't know, even profession farming, like if you're out mining nodes or herbalism or whatever you're doing, you'll be able to actually just skim along the ground out in the Dragon Isles, not just within the caverns, obviously. So that's going to be super useful in that regard. I'm one of those, I'll admit it, I'm one of those wowhead, give me all the waypoints, I'm just going to go get it done. But by all means, this is definitely something you want to jump on. It'll either take you, a nice bit of a journey over the course of maybe an hour or so, or you just do it in 10 minutes and just get it done. So that's definitely going to be on your radar though. Now, the next thing is the world boss. It should be dropping with 10.1. I don't believe I found any information to suggest otherwise, in which case, otherwise it would be when Season 2 launches a week later. But the world boss should be available, and by all means, you'll be able to kill the 2 Jaredon twins over on the left-hand side, obviously on the west of the map, in ZAQALI Caverns. And this will drop 415 gear. Really good to be able to accent your ults, especially, for example, if you've been smashing out the Forbidden Reach, which will mean that you probably be sitting around the 400 to 405 item level. And then by all means, 415 gear will just help boost you up ready for the season dropping a week later. So definitely well worth doing that one. And it only takes a matter of 10 minutes once you form your group and everything to smash that out of the way. So definitely well worth doing that. Next, we also have the weekly community event thing. So this will be the Researchers Under Fire, I believe. Now, this will form the new concept of the community events, much like the soup in the Azura Span, your Siege of Dragonbane Keep, all that kind of like joint community event once a week sort of a deal. You'll have the new one for ZAQALI Caverns. Now, again, massive amounts of rep and everything that will be useful for that. Your flight stones, all the usual stuff. You'll be getting coins in which you can use to get particular items. Then you also got boulders and everything like that, which is ironic because they swore that we were going to move away from having too many items to deal with, and now we still have too many items to deal with. So yay. But all things considered, definitely want to be doing that weekly event for sure. Now, the last major dot point that I really want to focus in on is sort of ties a few things together, and this is going to form the core part of what you're going to be doing day in, day out for most of that entire whole week. Now, everything of doing this is pushing you for the reward of getting as many flight stones as you can, as well as pushing your Nif and Rep as hard as you can as well to prepare yourself, obviously, in every capacity that you can, ready for Season 2 launch a week later. And this will be your zone events and rares and world quests and all that usual standard rush around like a madman kind of grindy content. Now, there are new zone events within the ZAQALI Caverns. There are 18 that we know of, confirmed from obviously on Wowhead. There could be more, there could be less. It depends on whatever changes in these last few days or whatever the live client might actually have involved with it. But we know there's a hell of a lot of these zone events. Now, these should function as, I believe, once a week rewarded things, much like your world quests, or world quests are usually every 3.5 days or so, so you get bi-weekly. But you'll be able to do these events, and they are very distinctly not the weekly event that's the Researchers Under Fire, and it's also not world quests, and it's also very specifically not rare spawns or anything like that. It's an actual event. It has a whole new icon, much like the like a Warhorn sort of a look. It'll be up on the screen. You'll be able to see up there as well. And cannot stress enough, these are definitely different sort of events that we haven't dealt with thus far. And all of these are obviously going to be pushing your Niffin and getting your flight stones and everything like that up. In tandem with that, we also have 25 rare spawns. Now, not all 25 are going to be available. Again, there could be more that we just don't know of. Less, either way, we've seen 25 unique ones, again, confirmed with Wowhead over there. Subject to change, obviously, from the live client when that goes live. But these bad boys, much like the Dragonflight initial launch, will have loot that's capable of being obtained once a day. So most likely people will be farming these particular rares every day, just like we saw before, and they're actually exceptionally difficult. You will absolutely 110% struggle hard to solo them. Maybe warlocks or hunters with their pet and things like that might be able to do it. You can typically do it with 2 or 3 people if you get a bit of, off healer and whatever like that. But you're most likely going to be joining a raid group that just goes around and cleans them all up constantly. And I'm hoping Tama's Dragonflight helper thing will have an easy way of tracking all these particular rares as well, because you're going to be doing them a lot as well. So you're going to have your weekly event, then your normal events, whatever you want to call these new things, as well as world quests, and then you're going to have your rares to kill every day as well. And yeah, that's going to form literally the main bread and butter of what you're going to be doing for that first week to really push that Flight Stone and Nif and Rep up. And lastly, I do want to touch on professions. Now, obviously, this will tie in a little bit with the Nif and Renown. We have certain thresholds that will give you some once-off profession boosts for your profession knowledge. There will be items, obviously, everywhere. Most likely, we're all going to wait and with bated breath on Wowhead to obviously release a location of all the waypoints for all the respective items. There's been at least 4 that I've just found by just participating on the PTR, and you sort of start going, cool, hey, there's a spear over there that gives me blacksmithing blacksmithing knowledge points. So there's obviously going to be some for every single profession. There's multiple, at least, that I've found. I don't know how many, but again, we're most likely just going to rely on the old trusted Wowhead source for that. And in tandem with that as well, we know that the Nif and Renown has the new bartering system with these stones and boulders and everything that we can go to our NPC, and that will also give you one-off profession knowledge boosts there as well. So professions is definitely going to be something you want to keep your hands on. If you're enchanters, for example, get all over it, because you want to be getting the new recipes for your enchanting to be able to turn the crests into enchanted crests, so people can use it for their respective crafted gear upgrades. There's going to be stuff from the raid when that happens to drop as well. You want to be making sure you're getting all your professions as best as you can, especially with the new knowledge points available, and then doing a little bit of research. You'll be able to know, cool, hey, this should be relevant for season 2, so I'm going to make sure I have enough points to bump that up. From a blacksmithing perspective, we know there's a 2-handed mace coming down the line, as well as some shields. I have all my weapons done as it is, so my mace is already covered. I am investing some points into the shields, as well as specifically we're getting a new belt buckle. Now, granted, it only gives stamina, I believe. However, this is a new item that we didn't have, available to us before. That most likely everyone's going to add this particular, much like the fierce leg armor for something like that. It's just an augmentation to your belt. And so for that reason, pretty much everyone's going to run it by all means. So this will become a new hot commodity. Cool. I want to invest some knowledge points in on that. So with all things considered, that is very much how your initial week is going to look. However, if you want some more information specific on the warrior, which obviously I play, and how the tier sets are looking, there'll be some badass videos up there to check out the both Fury and Arms tier set to get an idea of how exactly it's looking for us for season 2. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.